Hey guys, what's up? It's Umbruhh here, and today I'm back with another commentary for Final Fantasy XIV. And now we are ending the end of the expansion, or I guess we are at the end of the expansion for Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood, with Shadowbringers literally coming out in about 2 or 3 months. I thought I would end the year expansion, whatever you want to call it, with my final thoughts on Final Fantasy Stormblood. Now, this isn't going to be needlessly praising or needlessly bashing. I'm just going to be talking about what I like and don't like about it, and at the end I will give my final, I guess you could say, review or score on the expansion. So, when this expansion was first announced, I thought it was really interesting how we are finally able to explore Alamigo. And for a while, we thought it was going to be an Alamigo-based expansion, but wrong! In February of 2017, we were introduced and shown that we are also going to be going to Authored in this expansion, and I was really excited about that, because we only thought they would stay in Eorzea for Final Fantasy XIV, but they revealed that we're going to a new continent. So it was cool getting to explore Alamigo and Authored, or I guess Kiribania for Alamigo, but I gotta say, once actually playing it, I think I prefer the gear. I like the... what's it called? I think I liked some of the... actually, the only authored zone I really enjoyed was Yangsha. That was my favorite zone in the expansion. But to be honest, I preferred the zones of authored more, but the story of the Alamigan storyline a lot more. I just enjoyed the characters and the storyline much more. But I'm starting off too far away. What I also enjoyed about this expansion were the two new classes that they introduced, Red Mage and Samurai, as both are really fun and really powerful classes to play. Samurai is a little not as viable as the other melee DPSs in 14, but it's still a really solid job with really solid DPS. And Red Mage is really fun too. It's almost a little too easy for a job that you unlock and start at a high level, but it's still a really fun and viable job nonetheless, and I think they were both two really solid jobs to introduce this expansion. Not unlike Blue Mage, am I right? But that's kind of the other thing. I enjoyed the storyline, and so basically, when the expansion first came out, or I guess the vanilla, patch, I really enjoyed the expansion. Not as good as Heavensward, but I still really enjoyed it, and I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. But then the patches came, and oh boy, I was not a fan of some of the patches. Now, the first patch, 4.1, was where we went back to Girabania, and basically we saw the aftermath of what happened. Basically, spoilers for anybody who hasn't completed it yet. 4.1 storyline was about basically the fate of Fordola after being captured by the Alamigan resistance and kind of keeping the peace, and basically Robon coming back to Alamigo to lead. I thought the story was interesting, but as for the content, I can't say I was too much of a fan of it. We did get Shinryu EX, and we got Royal City of Rabanastre, but I am not. If you guys may have or may not have seen my video, but I was not a fan of the Alliance raids this expansion. They were just too long and too boring, and maybe I had to play the Ivalice games in order to fully understand it, because maybe if I played Ivalice, like Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy XII, I would enjoy this more, kind of like how I'm probably gonna enjoy the new 24-man raids in 14 because I've played both Nier Gestalt and Nier Automata. But aside from that, I wasn't a fan of 4.1, 4. Well, here's the thing. I loved 4.4's content, like I loved Seiryu and Alphascape, but I just hated the story. 4.5 wasn't that great either, and Now, I think my favorite patch of the expansion was probably 4.3 purely because of the storyline and the primal. The primal we got to fight was Tsukuyomi, which is basically an all-powerful version of Yotsuyu, and the storyline was really good. That was the part that kind of redeemed the authored storyline, and also we revealed that in the 4.2 and 4.3 that both Xenos and Gaia still live, which were pretty shocking to me, especially how Gaia still lives, a character that we haven't seen since like the end of Vanilla: A Realm Reborn. But other than that, I just wasn't a fan of most of the patch content, and my biggest gripe of the expansion is Eureka. I fucking hate Eureka with everything in my body. I hate how it's nothing but just running around killing enemies as if... And this is all you do. Like, it's basically you unlock... It's like a substitution for Savage Raiding or EX Primals, but instead you unlock your, like, item 405 level purple gear just by running around in an open world killing enemies. And I fucking hate how they lock the artifact armor and artifact weapons behind that. I mean, it's just a personal preference, but I just really hated Eureka. And I pray that they don't do the same thing with Shadowbringers. As for the patch content, I would give it about a 5 out of 10. But altogether, I would give the expansion and its patches altogether about, I would say, a 7 out of 10. I did enjoy this expansion. I thought it was great, but just some of the things could have been handled a lot better. Like, some of the jobs also weren't as... They kind of dumbed down some of the jobs. Like, I felt Ninja was a little dumbed down. Same with Dark Knight. They kind of should have kept some abilities for Dragoon, but basically my favorite jobs, like some of the jobs they made really good in this expansion, were Dragoon especially. Now, these are my final thoughts on Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, whether or not you liked or disliked this expansion. I had an okay time with it, but Shadowbringers is right around the corner. Let's hope it's amazing. And anyways, guys, I will see you guys later. You have an awesome day. Subscribe. Umbruhh out.